is Pelindah, Esther Umutoni. Most people call me Pelindah, and other people call me Pepe, aka Pepe. I got the Pepe name from some singing competition I'd gone for, and then it just became my name. People loved it, so people call me Pepe too. Yeah, so that's my name, and all my social media platforms have Pelindah. That's a very long story, but let me try to cut it short. So, in my senior 6 vacation, but I wrote this song in 2019. I recorded it, I think, also 2019, or even earlier, like 2018. So I was seated at home with a lady at the dining table, and she was telling me how they grew up, how things have changed for them. Because to her it was shock. Every time she would see things on TV, she'd be like, "Oh, this wasn't us. This is not how we grew up." So I told her to tell me more about her experience growing up. So during that time, my friend called Aleko had sent me a very beautiful, simple acoustic instrumental and told me if I could write something to it. When I was listening to it, the conversation of the lady kept coming back in my head. So that's how I started the whole song for Africa. I'm not so old and I'm not so young, right? So I've seen both sides of how things have changed. But this time I speak in terms of Uganda, because I'm Ugandan. I've grown up from Uganda. I cannot speak for other countries in Africa. Things have changed. How often do you see kids these days playing in their compounds? Okay, now you're in Canada, but before you came to Canada, you understand? So you don't see people playing, you don't see parents. Families are more nuclear, they're kept together compared to how we grew up. Extended families, during holidays, people working together. A stranger could discipline a child, but now you cannot do that. So that unity, that community that we had, I feel like it's not there. I'm not saying it's not there, but according to me and how I've seen things, it's not there. When I see Uganda or Africa, I love the development. I love how far the Western culture or the Western development has also helped us develop, right? But I wouldn't want our roots or foundations as African people to go. That's why I find people these days, they speak English way better than they can speak their cultural language or their mother tongue. If you told me to speak in Ufumira right now, I would mix English in between sentences because I do not know the language very well, because we grew up thinking, oh, it's so fancy speaking English. Why do you speak that language? You're so local and what and what. So people tried their level best to let go, to learn English that they forgot, their mother tongue languages. And that's part of us. That's our roots. That's how we identify. So Africa is my identity. I grew up from Africa. Everything about Africa I know. And I love my continent and I love Uganda. And I wouldn't want to lose everything that I grew up with. Well, I composed this song in a taxi. Because while I was writing the song, okay, this is what happened. I was on pressure to produce songs because I was going to perform at Blackets and Wine. I got a gig to perform at Blackets and Wine. Someone just believed in me. He's called Joe. Hi, Joe. So he believed in me and he's like, I want you to perform at Blackets and Wine, but I don't want you to do covers at Blackets and Wine. He had like 1 or 2 songs of mine. So he told me if you could come up with songs, record songs and record them from his studio. So recorded from his studio. So I was on pressure. So I had these instrumentals, but I had never listened to them. I had never done anything, right? So I knew how to perform at Blackets and Wine because I wanted it. So what I did, I got the instrumental, got my earphones, entered the taxi, and just went with it. And I just relaxed, listened to the instrumental, and then I let it come to me. Like the chorus, once I got the chorus, the verse was easy. The first verse, which is in Ufumira, and then the rest was in English because I wanted to make sure that people understand me. At the same time, I also wanted to sing in my own language. So, yeah, it was composed in a taxi. Yes, I think I faced financial challenges because the studio was already giving me a discount, at a very huge discount, because they were supporting me. But at the same time, I needed to pay for the producer's time, right? And I didn't have money. I was at campus. So I begged my dad, and the dad, man, give me a loan first loaned me, I want to go and record some songs in studio, and he gave me the loan, but I've never paid him back. Actually, now that I think about it, I have to pay I have to pay him back. So he gave me a loan, and then I also, sacrificed, for example, nice food, going out and all those things, topped up the money, and I went to studio. So, the writing process, I used an acoustic version, right? Guitar. And when I was visualizing the song, I wanted it to have like percussions to bring out the African feel. And I think if you listen closely, they're there. But then my producer suggested that if you wanted to sell internationally, because I've always wanted to sell internationally, it's good if we could blend the two. Have an African feel because you're African and you want to keep that feel, but also because music is music, regardless of where it comes from. All in all, it comes together to create a beautiful sound and a different kind. That's why for me, I call my music Afro Soul. I know other artists are there that call that Afro Soul artists. But then when you mix the soulfulness of the song and also the African part to create that. So we worked together. I had him. I think I'd put in Dingidi, but then later we removed it and used it for a different song. So we concentrated on the percussions for that song. And then we had the bass, of course. Everything was live played. Like everything was recorded live. So we had that small percussions. I think that the percussionist was called Fred. Yeah, he's called Fred. Yeah, Freddy. He calls himself Freddy. And then Jude Kiracho, he's a guitarist, he's a multi-talented guy. So he did that. He created the fusion. The first take, I didn't like it. This was a second take, like the recording of the song. So yeah. So for me, my dream for this song, I would want people to listen to it and go back in time and remember how they grew up. I mean the Ugandans or the Africans. And then see what has changed. Maybe I'm wrong, right? What has changed? Is it good change? Is it bad change? Is it both? Because it can never be positive throughout. So what I want is people to go back and think about the Africa they grew up from and right now. And if possible, share their views, because I want it to be an open conversation. And I see, maybe I'm saying things wrong, right? And then we see how we can develop and grow without losing ourselves as Africans. That's the impact I want. I want people to go back, think about it, and be like, what is it about Africa that I love? What is it that has changed? Where have I contributed to this change? How can we make it independent on its own in terms of culture, in terms of the way of life? Yeah, it's about unity, working together, loving each other. What would happen if we as human beings work together? So it's also that, remember, as Africans, we grew up from community-based kinds of groups, right? Loving and supporting each other. So that's what it's about. And I'll be sharing more songs. My theme most of the time is about love. All my songs have something to do with love. Agape love, loving people, working together, community, love, trust, being happy for other people. Yeah, supporting each other day in, day out. So most of my songs are around that. Some of them are heartbreaks, because I've been through a heartbreak and I wrote about it. I think 2 of them. Actually 3 of them. It was like a story of pain and all that. So yeah, most of my songs are about love, but they're about things I believe in. I can never write something I don't believe in, and I can never sing something I don't believe in, because I think I'm very emotional and deeply attached to everything that I do. So if I don't believe in it, I wouldn't be able to portray it. So most of the songs, I've written them from a point of experience. I've related to them, or someone that I've loved, or that I love has related, and I feel it when I'm writing the song. The message is, Africa is beautiful. We are very beautiful people. Wherever you are from, I don't know what part of Africa, we should love our continent. We should love our people. We should love our traditions. We should love our past, so that we create a beautiful future. And I think that's why Africa is saying, look up to the sky where you belong, because I feel like Africa has too many resources, too many beautiful people, souls everywhere. And let this song be a reminder of what Africa could be. I believe the bridge I believe the time has come. Put away of pity and regret. Da 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 da. The past is past. The past is past. Right? Look up to the sky. For a new home up among the stars. So the bridge is my favorite part because it's hope. What Africa can be. Yeah. This song and every song of mine is dedicated to my dad. He has supported me with my dream of becoming a musician from way back. He has gone for every single competition. He has contributed financially to my singing and my production and everything. And it's also dedicated to my sister, who has been my cheerleader from day one, supporting me, being my backup singer, dancing on stage with me, all those things. So Pelindah nkwagala nnyo muganda wange. Then my brother too, he did my lyric video over Rukundo. I think my whole family has supported me in one way or the other, and I'm so blessed and thankful for that. And then I dedicate it to all my friends and to every beautiful human being on this earth. Thank you.
Africa, 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 Africa,